Before we move on to the crypto stuff, to the second part of our show, maybe just a quick question around the room. Like, what are you guys' thoughts about, everybody up here is a content creator. What are your thoughts about AI and content creation? Like, are you guys worried? Are you guys using it? Any thoughts from anybody?
I don't think there's any way that that AI is going to be able to like replicate me and my energy. I just don't. Maybe in like 15, 20 years, but I think if we start like utilizing it as much as everybody has been, like, it's going to end up being like, obviously more readily available because there's going to be like a need for it, but to be like, the nuances and the actual like, energy and inflection and all of those things that are based in a sentient being. I've never thought that. And I mean, I'm fairly technical. Like I'm fairly like educated in the technical world, and have now decided to go in an AI machine learning route in grad school. And I just still like, I don't believe that in content creation that AI is going to pick up on those nuances that only come from like, I don't know if we want to call it, the greater good, like the spiritual enlightening. But there's so much stuff that comes to us as content creators that is like of divine nature. And not to get weird with everybody, but it's true. Like a lot of stuff that was happening at the early stages of my TikTok creation or content was like, I would just kind of go with the flow. And so it wasn't as, sometimes I feel like AI and this kind of thing is a little bit clunky in the way of like, oh, it's just going to take over, it's just going to like do everything for you. I just don't quite believe that it's going to take over and we're just going to be like blobs of human mass with a little bit of a little bit of thinking, but that like AI is going to take over. I know I just went like in a weird direction, but they always say like it's going to really find your voice and know how you talk. And I just personally, because I've used it, it's not like this is just coming from a different perspective. Like I've used it. I've used ChatGPT. I've used all of these things to try to find my, to see if it'll find my voice, and it just, it doesn't hit the mark. That has nothing to do with zealous, just AI in general.
You
Great
know,
take.
oh,
I
sorry,
was gonna
Jess.
let I was gonna let Dow go, but go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I watched something. They had a segment on the news actually yesterday morning. I was watching, and it for me listening to it, like what you're saying about matching your energies and these different things. Look, with when it comes to content creation, I consider myself a backup dancer or a background singer. So I'm just here to help more so. But when I listened to it, when they actually did something like that with someone's voice, now for me, I don't listen to this person all the time, but it sounded identical, and it matched the inflections of their voice and the urgencies, and it was pretty shocking to listen to. But when they actually asked the other anchors, did that sound like that person? They were like, no, because I know them, on a different level. So I do believe for people that don't know you that in depth, I think that it actually is pretty advanced to sound like you and pick up these things. It was kind of creepy, to be honest with you. I think that is where things are going, and I think it can be used for good, and it can be like ease of use and helping. And I think that the possibilities are endless. But some of the stuff, I'll be honest, is a little bit creepy. But go ahead, Dow. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step in front of you.
No, that was great. That was great, and I think we're all becoming aware that there's almost like a determinism in AI, in the sense that when technology is being brought forward, what's out of a box is kind of almost impossible to bring it back into the box. So we just have to learn to adapt and compose with it. I also agree with what Brooke was saying earlier, in the sense that AI, as far as I can tell, is not going to replace creators. But the way I would look at it is more in terms of hours that are reduced from the work that you have to do. And this expands to every job. I don't think there's a single job whose hours are not going to be reduced by somehow using AI to do things in a more efficient way, more productive way. And those hours reduce the amount of people that you need for a job, right? I'll go real quick and then I'll let somebody else go. But if you need a team of 10 engineers and they're working, let's say, 60, 70 hours a week, I don't think AI is going to replace them just yet or anytime soon, especially to do something that's really advanced and requires some subtleties, as Brooke was saying. But if you can reduce those hours by 20, 30%, all of a sudden you don't need 10 engineers. So as I think we'll see in AIs progressively, we'll see that same 10 team of engineers across all the different corporation be reduced to 8, and then a couple years later be reduced to 6, to 4, and then there's only 2 engineers left. And I think to Brooke's point, there'll always be a need for human decision making that maybe is creative or original or just subtleties that AI won't be able to reduce, right? Eventually, maybe in 20 years from now, there'll still be that need for a human to be part of that process. But the danger is all those jobs that are being reduced. What does that look like, for society where we already have economic crisis? That I think is something to be worried about.
I don't know. I think you guys are too optimistic. Have you heard the AI Drake songs? Those are bangers. Like I truly do believe we could be replaced. Go ahead, MK.
This is why I love you, Jess, because literally I was going to ask you for 5 seconds and I literally have that track up. Just can I just get like 4 seconds? Let me just play this.
Do
4
it.
seconds. Okay. Just listen to this.
I came in with my ex, like Celine, not a flex. Bumping Justin Bieber, the fever and left. She know what she need, all she blessed.
Bro, I'm sorry, but like as the AI can all those inflections and stuff, that's the stuff that we notice in each other when we're visually seeing each other. 2/3 of the media that you consume, no matter what part of the world you're in, is not visual. 2/3 of the media that you're not watching that TV every single scene. You can watch a show and miss things. You know what I'm saying? They already have instances of this. That track was the first generation. That was the first generation, and it's a bop. Did you hear the bass? Did you hear the beat? And nobody pays attention to like lyrics anymore. When I was growing up, you knew every single lyric. I can't give you one Future lyric, but I know all his songs. You understand? Like, and that's really like the future. Like, I think that it's not that AI can replace us. It's that we are, I don't know why, but we will always choose what makes life easier. We will replace us. We're actually the bane of our own existence. We are probably the most nihilistic race on earth. And as far as AI, like I agree with you, Dow. I think the amount of time it'll reduce in what you have to build manually. And I mean, look what we're describing with Zealous. But at the same time, there is also a security concern that popped up in that conversation for me when we talk about the idea of being able to download other people's spaces and then use the voice to read off tweets. Well, how do I know somebody doesn't download mine and use mine to read off? I don't know. I've been complimented on my voice before. What if I hear my voice reading an adult book and it's not even a good one? You know what I'm saying? So it's just I don't know. I think that it's really, really important for us to understand that AI doesn't stand on its own. And whatever you're using as the public, guys, that's not AI. The stuff, Chat GPT and all that, that's not AI. That's not open AI. That's one iteration that's built on there. The AI that's actually problematic is the ones that are associated with computers that they're trying to build. They're trying to build out quantum computers. 2 years ago, I literally set my eyes on what a quantum computer looks like. AI is built for stacking. Nobody uses, if you're just using Chat GPT by itself, you're actually not actualizing what Chat GPT is. The point is to use Chat GPT and then stack it with this other AI and then stack it with that. There's a young lady that makes about $1 million to $2 million a month. Selling the AI version of herself. You guys understand what I'm saying? She's pimping her digital avatar and she makes $1 million a month. Why? Because the guys that are on there can't tell the difference between her and the AI. So they buy
they don't care.
And they don't care.
Or they don't care. Yeah, some of them don't
Thank you.
care.
Stack that with Dolly and now you got a visual aspect. I mean, come on. There's literally a chick that just married an AI that she made out of a character from Attack on Titan, because it listens to her more than any other guy she's ever been with. I don't know who's going to have that conversation with her, but I think AI is a really deep a disruptor, only because I think we need the disruption. I think we need the disruption. Like, our entire worlds we're not efficient. We're not efficient as a human race. We're not efficient when it comes to technology. The administration right now is choosing to stifle the investment into blockchain and cryptocurrencies right now. Meanwhile, other countries are adopting it at a stupid rate. And at some point, it's going to click to people that another thing you can stack on top of AI is solidity. Another thing you can stack on top of AI is Rust. You know what I mean? So the kind of things that are going to be developed, like in the next 10 years, if this is version 1 of a Drake, and they were bold enough to take Drake's voice, who are we? You know what I'm saying? They were bold enough to take his voice and even reference other musicians. So I don't know. I've heard the AI can't replace us, and I've heard it from musicians, I've heard it from devs, I've heard it from people in all different industries. And every time I hear it, I'm not gonna lie to you, there's a part of me that's just like, man, reality is about to hit them like a ton of bricks, because it not only can it replace us, but it will be another human being that chooses it over us. We're watching that happen now. All those layoffs that you guys saw in Silicon Valley, it's not because, oh, they're out of money. It's because they realize, well, they can actually just get 5 prompt engineers that are really good at their job, and then replace like 100 engineers that have been loyal to them for 10 years. It is us. We're actually the bane of our own existence. So I just wanted to add that into there. And that's not a nihilistic take. I'm just being real.
Great point. All right, let's go to Lexi for the last AI comment, and then we'll go over and talk about crypto. Go ahead, Lexi.
Oh my God, that was such a great insight, man. That thank you so much for bringing that out. I wanted to just add here that we've been having a talk about, bullshit jobs for a very long time, and that a lot of people are in this race just for the sake of it and not really adding a lot of value. When it comes to creators, I would just want to, bring up my own story. I was literally a law student. I'm literally completing my degree right now. And then suddenly one day I had realized a few years back that it's simply not something that I vibe to. I just the philosophy is disgusting. It's there to support the status quo. I was so desperate to find my niche, to find my interest, to find something that I could be good at. Where could I go? And then boom comes the AI. It just, bootstrapped me with a lot of resources that could help me to, go from 0 to 1 and then 1 to 100 in just, matter of 10 days, a month max, which was so, so beautiful for me as a solo creator, because before this I could have never imagined that I could have an educator who could educate me a complex subject in like 5 minutes, like I'm 3-year old, who can help me make videos, who can help me put voice to it, who can help me create pictures, who can help me do 10,000 other things while just sitting right in front of my laptop. I'm genuinely extremely bullish on it, and I do hope that this brings out a more intellectual side of humanity, because we've really been stuck in a rut for a very long time. We've all been indulging in a lot of bullshit jobs, and it's not paying out anymore. It's simply not. And as she said, we are our biggest enemies, and it's not a nihilist take. It's just realism. That was my take.
Thanks, Lexi. Appreciate all the insights about AI. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that AI song is a banger. And you should have played the Pepe song, because that's another banger. And then you have the Jay-Z one with the lawyer chick. Yeah.
Like, I want Drake AI's album more than I want Drake's album. Like, I actually want Drake to just buy this AI and sit down and let the AI make more music, because it's.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I do see Daniel came up. What's going on, Daniel?
Yo, good morning. Happy Fridays.
Happy Friday. I see you're rocking. Is that an Azuki or an Elemental?
It is an Azuki, and it's an Azuki Elementals, yeah.
Any thoughts about the background proposal, just in case nobody has been on the timeline? Azuki minted out their elementals in what, 10, 15 minutes, $38 million. And now there is a proposal to change, or a discussion about a community proposal to change the background. Thoughts, Daniel?
Well, first of all, it's really exciting to finally get myself an Azuki, right?
It's
That's
not really, it's an Azuki elementals. Don't confuse people.
it's an Azuki, and it's an Azuki Elementals. Don't ever forget about that. So it's very exciting to get one. Uh, and I don't know. What do I think about all this? I think they should not change anything. Um, I really think the team dropped the ball when they apologized. I don't think there's anything to apologize, to be honest. It's a great project. They always deliver. They should have just gone silent, radio silent for a whole week. Let the I don't know, the people just talk on Twitter. No one cares. They deliver in real life. That's the thing, If you follow the Zuki team for the past year, they always deliver. So I don't think this is going to be any different this time. It does feel like I rug myself just because I went into the hype, into the dump, but I don't know. I'm pretty
So
happy.
you bought the top, in other words.
No, well, I bought the top of the dump, so it kept dumping. I feel like that guy like singing like I rug myself today. It's just but
Oh no, I sense a little bag bias because last week, and I can look on your timeline, you were talking about that you would never go to at one of these events, and now you're saying, look at all the events that they're throwing and stuff. Should I pull up the receipts or no?
yeah, dude, pull it. Yeah,
Oh
pull it. Yeah, people
shit.
people
Loaded into Zealous.
no. Hold on. People change their mind all the time, but there's a context to it, right? Like what I said and what I said in the DMs too is I can't I can't push myself to spend 10 to 16 ETH on an NFT because I really don't go to any event, right? I don't go to events. I don't like going to any of the events. It's been 10 years since I've gone to one crypto event. So to spend that amount of ETH for that, no. But 1.8 close to 2 ETH. That's pretty good. It's a great team. It's by far the best NFT project. By far. I don't think there's any there's no second best. It's better than Apes. I don't care what the price means nothing to me. It's better than Apes and in my opinion it will continue to be. So yeah, there's that.
Wait, Daniel, did you think that you have to like spend 2 ETH and have an NFT to get into parties like that? I don't have an Azuki.
Yeah, that's why I put my hand up.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no, so it's not just the parties, right? Like I say, even if I get invited to a party, I may consider not going, to be honest, just because it's not my thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, people spend ETH on NFTs for many reasons, right? So,
No, do
but
you
yeah,
understand what she's asking? She was saying like, do you know that you don't have to necessarily own it to like be part of the vibe, to go to the events and stuff.
yeah, I suppose, right? Yeah, there was an open event. Yeah, you can do whatever you want, right? Like I don't think they check you to see if you have an NFT and you have to prove it with a ticket. But I mean, like, I don't know. You have what kind of an NFT you have, Nikisha?
Daniel, are
I
you
have.
go for it, NK.
Go for no. Go for it, Forte. I'll go after
Thank
you.
you. Daniel, are you expecting any monetary gain to the NFT, or you literally just don't care where it ends up?
I don't really care where it ends up. If it goes lower than 1 ETH, I'll get myself another one, maybe to flip it. But I really don't care, to be honest. It's just I I haven't bought like an NFT like this one in a long ass time. So to me, this is, and I always wanted to have an Azuki and be within that Azuki vibe. So yeah, that's the reason I spend it. And I mean, yeah, 1.8, it 2 ETH, it can be a lot of money for some, right? So it's not cheap. It's definitely not a cheap NFT. It's twice the price of what they pay for the original ones, and they deliver. That's why you saw the price going up in the past few years. So it's not a cheap NFT. Yeah, I get it. But I did it because I don't know. I mean, maybe I just fell for it, right? But I love the Azuki brand, so I'm in it.
No, but that's where your focus should be. Like when you asked me what NFTs I own, like I didn't give a crap what the NFT was. I got one that looked like me. I got one that I liked. And it just happened to be with like a blue chip, you know what I mean? And I own other ones that I just, I don't put them in my main wallet. I don't need my business outside. But with this, like, I don't think you have to, honestly, like, it's Azuki, bro. I don't think it's gonna, I know right now it's fluctuating or whatever, but we know what the future is gonna hold. It's Azuki. Like anybody, if you spent 2 ETH, you're more than likely gonna be above that. And hey, Joey, can you chill? Like that's kind of distracting, bro. We get it. Yeah, I don't understand that. That's like new stuff. But I'm just saying, like, I want you to feel encouraged. I think that if you love us, I love Azuki. Like I love anime,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I will always love Azuki. The only thing, that concerns me is that, like, okay, so they airdrop 10K, right? They already got 10K in May and Azuki. Then they airdrop 10K on Friday during the party, right? And then for holders of Azuki, those are the people, because the rhetoric is what? Oh, it minted out in 10 minutes, but it actually minted out because the people that were holders cleaned it out in that pre-sale. And then now when you go to the profile, like when you go to their OS profile, you have to remember that the history of Azuki has never been like, that's a diamond hand community. If you go to the Azuki's main page, you'll see that they're at 12% listed right now. If you go to freaking Elementals, they're at 4% on the main Azuki page, and that's from over a year. If you go to Elementals right now, they're at 12%. So the only concern I have is the rollout, how they rolled it out. Because if you give it to people that already own Azuki, well, they don't want their stuff diluted. So what are they going to do? They're going to sit on that NFT. So because of that, even though that's a whole other conversation, but the principle is there's so little that are available that all it takes is for them to make a couple announcements and deliver a couple things. And I mean, the demand is going to be there with very few listed. So I wouldn't tell you to focus on what the bottom is now. It's not realistic to focus on what it is now. It's more realistic to understand that we're in bear. You got something. I mean, if you spend money, like, we're grown, you spend something, wear it with your chest. It looks good on you, but you're also still incredibly annoying prior to this. So I'm just concerned about how this is going to affect your ego going forward. I don't like that it's lifting your
The bag bias from Daniel is,
I mean, it's extraordinary, bro.
My
Extraordinary.
But you know what? I'm happy to see him happy about something, because he's always negative Nancy on the timeline.
I swear.
Quiet, guys. My ego is so elevated. I'm so above you guys. I can spend this kind of money and be like, it's a JPEG.
All right,
we need a middle finger reaction.
Let's get through some of these hands, guys. Let's get through some of these hands. Wolf, and then Joey.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a beautiful Friday so far. I just came up to because I love your new NFTs, Daniel and Jess. I just wanted to know why is it so that you guys don't use verified profile pictures, since you guys love your NFTs so much?
I don't trust Twitter that much with connecting my wallet. That's why.
That's the same here, and I'm not gonna pay Elon $7 a month or whatever to be able to do anything like that. So
no, you're not verified. Period. You can't even answer the question, DeFi, because you're not verified. Period. We're talking about the hexagon right now, my friend.
Yeah, Daniel's too broke, and I'm not gonna connect my wallet to Twitter.
The proper term is leveraged, Jess. He's leveraged.
So do you have to be verified in order to be able to use NFTs as profile pics?
Yes.
Oh.
But yeah, thanks for coming by, Wolf. And yeah, I'm like Daniel. Like, I buy it because I like the JPEG. I'm not expecting all my JPEGs go to zero. If this one does too, it's just going to be another one. I'm not in it for the community. I'm not even in Discord. Like, I don't understand people. They're like, yeah, I bought it so I could talk to other community members. You can just talk to other people. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Go ahead, Joey.
So I apologize for all the thumbs down. I didn't realize it was that distracting. I'm just I'm having fun. You could thumbs down me. I don't even look at my screen when I talk, so I can't see the emojis. So this Azuki conversation that we keep having is really funny to me because everyone keeps saying it's Azuki. They're going to recover. Look at what they've delivered. Nobody has any idea what the people on that team are capable of because they're not doxxed. They don't have a resume. They don't have a LinkedIn. They don't have previous businesses that they've run. They have nothing. You guys are all, it's such hopium in this space that you're like,
Oh my
you
God.
you could say, oh my God, all you want, but it's true. Like you
No, but
guys are
it's
putting
rude as
faith.
fuck, bro. Like,
It's not
say
Wait,
rude
wait,
as
this,
wait,
fuck.
say this,
NK,
say
Hold
this
on.
like you're
wait,
speaking to other
guys,
adults, bro. Chill, chill.
let him finish his point, and then we could review.
It's not rude. Why do people buy into Apple? Why do people buy into Microsoft? Why do people buy into Tesla? Okay, like you guys are saying like, oh,
You're
it's a
comparing
Zuki.
apples to oranges.
No, I'm not though, because people are putting thousands and thousands of dollars in the hands of people that they don't even know what they're capable of doing with. And they keep using this excuse that, oh, I'm buying here because it's a Zuki, they're going to be fine. What makes you think?
Oh my God. Yes.
Keep going, dude.
Keep going. Keep going. You need background music, Joe. Go for it.
All
Should I,
right,
should I play the
Daniel.
Drake track? Should I play the Drake track? Maybe that'll hype him up.
All right, let's let him finish.
Okay, so the reality is you don't know what they're capable of. You don't know that they're going to recover because they haven't done anything that leads you to believe that they're capable of it. So like you can say like, oh, especially Zagabon of all people, but like I don't understand. And maybe somebody can enlighten me and tell me why you're so confident in the Azuki team when what they've done so far is a couple cool IRL parties, which I get it. They were fun. They were cool, but you can go to dope ass IRL parties for $25 or $50. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars to go to dope IRL parties. Let's be real. Okay. The skateboard. Okay, fine. They sold some skateboards. Okay, cool. But like the idea that you're going to spend $18,000 on an NFT because you want to be part of a community, because you trust that they're going to bounce back and deliver. Somebody tell me what in the history of the 10 people on that team that you know of outside of
All right,
what's
Joe.
the
Let me reply that because that's
No, wait. Let's get to Dow
oh,
first. He has
she can go
co-host.
because she's clearly she can
No,
go because she's either
wait.
clearly
Dow has co-host privileges. Sorry, Joey. Go ahead, Dow.
Well, this became a really heated conversation, but I'll be fast anyway, man. I think, Joe, you're asking a good question. Uh, I'm not an Azuki owner, but you just listen to what Dan just told you, man. Like, he doesn't care about the price. And that's how you know that you have a long-standing community, right? It's not necessarily about what the dev team is going to do. It's about the actual members of the community, right? So I know this sounds a bit like the decentralization narrative that, it's not really about the roadmap, it's about the members. But if you listen to the members of community, that's when you can tell that it's beyond what the team can do. It's about how each member feels about being part of that community, right? I know a lot of times we say community all the times, and 90% of the time, Joey, you're right. There is no community, and it's all depending on what the dev team will do. But there's a few projects that become iconic enough that it's beyond what the dev team do. And just listening to what people are saying, I can hear it that this is community that's going to be there for the next 4 or 5 years. So if the dev team does something cool, but I don't think it makes a difference to the owners of those Azukis. They love the style, they identify with it, and they just feel that it's something. The energy, the style, the elegance of it is something that they identify with, and they love it.
Yeah, but then if that was the case, then why would every single collection's floor price be tanking? Everyone wants the reality is so many of these holders are locked in because they spent so much money they can't bring themselves to sell at such a loss. That's the honest truth. Some of these people bought Azukis at like 80, 100, $200,000. I don't care how wealthy you are, it hurts to lose money. All of their floor prices are dropping and continue to drop. Listing numbers are rising. So you could say that it's their community, but the community isn't what's going to keep them around for 5 years. At some point,
but it's what has kept them though, Joey.
you're talking about, but you're
No,
talking
Joey,
about
let
a
me
short
reply you.
time frame.
Joey, let me reply you because like it's not that like I agree with Dow. I think that the questions that you're raising are great, but I also think that, if you read a room, when a group of people is trying to inspire their friend. Daniel. Okay, that's one. Number two, what you spoke, you said, spending 18,000. These were not 18,000. We're talking about Azuki Elementals and the concept of how they delivered that product. That is the conversation. So I understand like your conversation or whatever, like what you're talking about. I go to your profile and you're the CEO of at Team When Moon. So why should I believe in you? Why should I give a crap about Team When Moon?
Because if you look at my LinkedIn and my resume and my previous
that was a
businesses, it
rhetorical
matters.
Wait.
question,
But
Joey.
that is not a
So
good point. Like,
no.
just because you're on LinkedIn, that
That
doesn't
doesn't mean
matter.
anything.
Yeah, LinkedIn to me, I don't even go on LinkedIn. It's a bunch of scams on there. And like just saying, oh, look at the resume. How many people that are doxxed in Web3 that have resumes have drugged? Like that doesn't mean shit.
And that's what I'm trying to get across to him. And as far as like history, like you're talking about the team. What the way that you're talking, I can tell that you're newer to this space than some of us have been. Not all of us are. Not all of. I'm just saying that's how you sound, and that's important. It's important how you sound so that people understand where you're coming from. What we're hearing is all of you guys are crazy. You spend all this money. Woo woo woo. It hurts to lose money. I don't know what you've been through, brother, but the people on this stage, like if we make an investment, we know exactly why we're getting into that. Now, as far as Azuki, you mentioned Zagabond, so at least you know enough about Azuki to know who Zagabond is. If you recall, after Azuki's mint, months and months and months later, for no particular reason, Zagabond just started talking, and he revealed some things about his past that were so inflammatory to the space that it caused Azuki to dump. It dumped. Everyone was trolling them. They were freaking out in their Discord. They didn't get any support from anyone. And you know what they did? They picked themselves up by the bootstraps, Joey. It wasn't the team. It wasn't Zagabond. It was the bloody community. They refused. They diamond-handed. When you see that level of resilience, when you watch a community literally almost lose everything and then build themselves back up to that 16th ETH, 18th ETH, when you're able to do that, Joey, then you can speak these kind of things. But until then, especially as a founder, there are so many, there are horrible people in this space that if you had said these things about, we would be fine to just let you finish. But this is not it. You can talk about Zagabond all you want. That's not the reason that Azuki's still around. It's because of the holders. It's because of the community members that are devout to it, not to Zagabond, but to the mission that they had. You have to remember that the garden started off as a collective of artists, like a true collective. People found their entire futures there. So you're not talking about like just a random NFT project that just dropped and woo 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 and all these DJs. No, they were a family long before you discovered NFTs. And the passion and the aggression you may hear from me is I can't stand when somebody hasn't had to put in that kind of work, because it's not easy to build in this space. It's just, you need to approach this with a little bit more reverence and respect for the other people, because frankly, if you're trying to build here, that's not it. The thumbs down, the talking mess, the putting everyone down, the blanket statements.
No one's putting.
All right, guys,
It's not cool. But Joey, you spoke for a good 10 minutes and none of us received anything because of your energy.
You guys, I'm talking. Please let we got to get through some of these hands, and I just wanted to go back about the LinkedIn resume point and just give a perfect example. Ryan Carson, like that doesn't mean shit. Like, let's get through some of these hands. Brooke, Andrew, DeFi, Daniel, Josh.
I don't, okay. Like, I wasn't going to say anything because I know it's really silly. And I know everyone thinks this whole like IRL event thing is silly. And I'm a Gen X single mom and I went to Vegas. I am not an Azuki holder. I'm like, I'm all about the friendships, and you guys all, I think, know that, right? Like, I'm an EDM fan. We talked about that with the mousetrap thing the other week, that like Jess and I are, diehard EDM fans. And I can honestly tell you that from the Stevie Williams event on Thursday night, which was so well done by a couple of friends, when you say like the skateboards, like they literally auctioned those, or not auctioned, it was like a raffle or whatever that people took off the wall, and like the happiness that provided people was something that like I could feel. I'm all about energy too, but I can honestly say that weekend was one of the coolest things that I've ever experienced as sort of an outsider, as somebody coming in. I almost felt like they were all my kids. That event, nobody gave a shit about the airdrop. I heard it maybe once or twice, like during the night, but I think we get so caught in like, what is this floor price? And I've been watching this for years. Like, it doesn't matter how long I've been in the space, right? Like, it doesn't matter. I don't ever have to say I've been in the space for so long, but I have. And like, when I've been watching this, like, just like we've been saying, like, this community, I've never seen anything like it. And I think regardless of whether they pay a bunch of money and buy an NFT or whatever, like, they are bonded by something that goes way above an NFT price or a floor price or whatever. This is something that that it was palpable. Like, you could feel that energy. I still have, like, you know, like, the energy is still with me, and it made me think, like, this is a really, cool project to be in. I had to, like, look farther in, and I have to agree, like, it doesn't necessarily matter who the founders are, because it's about, like, the collective of who the supporters are. And again, I can't stress it enough, like, the way that people acted last weekend was some of just the coolest interactions I've ever seen. And of course, the party was incredible. And if people think that's silly, that's their decision. Like, that's their decision. It was one of the coolest things I've ever experienced. And I don't know if they're going to be able to, like, replicate that or not. I know that there was a ton of, like, non-Azuki holders like myself that got to experience that. So regardless of all of these things that are being argued about, it was one of the coolest experiences to watch these people come together. I have a son who's very, very introverted, and like, all I want for him is to be a part of something like that, and have them, I showed him everything that happened, and he was just like, that is so, so cool that all these people came together to be together. That's it. So whether they spend, it doesn't matter. It's people's money. They have agency over their own money. They can do what they want. No one's forcing them. So I just want to reiterate that, like, that community is one of the coolest experiences. Watching them was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. And I'm fucking old.
Thanks. We're going to get through these hands on the Azuki topic, and then we'll circle back to Joy, and then we are going to move on. I just wanted to point something out. Like, I do agree with Joy on some points. Like, sometimes people buy things for the wrong reason. And yeah, and if you're buying it strictly to make profits and you're depending on this secret roadmap, there's a 99% chance you're going to get wrecked. And I've seen you in a lot of NFT spaces where people make NFTs their identities and their brands, and relying on a team that they don't know about. But at the end of the day, like, people are going to get wrecked. Some people don't care. They just buy it because they like it. And I don't know. Go ahead, Andrew, and then Daniel and Josh.
Thanks,
and
Jess.
Joy.
Joy, so your first point, I'll agree with one thing, the hopium thing. So obviously the community is hopeful, but obviously at the same time, all of us here currently listening to this space, about 400 plus of us, are definitely still hopeful. Otherwise, we still wouldn't be here. What are we hoping for? For the community to scale, blockchain to scale, things get integrated, integration, all that great stuff. So in a sense, yes, we're all hopeful, but if you're not, you wouldn't be here anyways. And then, Joy, where I give you some pushback respectfully is that, so obviously, Elon wasn't Elon before he became Elon. So at some point, you do have to start from ground zero. And maybe Zagabond, this is his ground zero. Maybe that entire team, maybe it's their ground zero. But at one point, Joey, you were not the man you are today. You had no experience, no knowledge of anything, did not do the thing, did not know how to do the thing, maybe even haven't even heard of the thing yet. So at some point, you were starting from ground zero. So maybe this is their ground zero. Obviously, experience is definitely valuable in this space, but it doesn't mean that something can't come from nothing. From the sense that, BAYC, Yuga was built from 2 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys, whatever it was, who had done nothing in their life before. So obviously that's an anomaly. It's a little bit different, but at the same time, you can make something from nothing. And experience obviously does matter, as I said, but it's not everything. There's a lot more factors that come into play, because at some point, none of us here had any experience to do anything. Like, at some point, we didn't know how to walk, right? And how do you start walking? You start walking. So that's kind of what I got to say.
All right. Who's next? Daniel, Josh, and then Steven. What up, Daniel?
Yo, it's very good getting the point from somebody else that doesn't have any interest in the brand or anything like that. So that's great. I do give them that. I do think they did absolutely drop the ball in the communication. It seems like there was a lot of OGs that did not expected the reveal, that the reveal was so close to the original Azuki. So, and I think that a lot of people got sidewinded with the video that they showed on the party. If you see the video and if you see the reveal, it's almost like two different things. Yeah, there's some traits, there's some differences, but really, really, you see the video and you think you will think it's something completely different, right? So I think that's kind of where they dropped the ball. They just didn't properly communicate it. Now, if I were to, if I was on that team, they did release 20,000, right? 10K were for the original 10K. And what they should have done, they should just presented this as the next generations of Azuki. Don't call it elementals. Call it something else. Azuki 2 or something like that. Something that represents the movement from the originals to these new ones. And there's a reason why they did this, right? There's a reason why they did 20K, because really is onboarding, well, in theory, onboarding 10K new participants into the garden, and allowing the 10K original ones to have a free mint, right? Because for them, it was just an airdrop, right? So, I think they fumble there, and then they apologize, and then they're thinking about changing the backgrounds, which I don't like that. I don't like that because I bought what I bought because I like I didn't sweep the floors. I bought above floor price because I searched for the one that I liked, didn't care about the price, and I hit the buy button. So I don't want that to change. Now, if there's no stopping that, I don't want the community involved. I don't want this to be a vote. I don't want some dumbass from some other part of the world to tell what this is gonna be, what my NFT, how it's gonna change. I don't like that. I want the Azuki team, the artist, to pick. If that's like if that's the path, they're gonna change the background. There's no way around it. I want the Azuki team to do it. Otherwise, it's just gonna be picked by community. And in this case, I didn't buy it for the community. I bought it for the Azuki team, for the developers, for the artists. I bought it for that brand. So that's all I'm gonna say. Oh yeah, final point. I took too much time. But Brooke, you went to the party because you're not just anyone. You are a respectable member of this community, and that's why you went to the party. I don't think they'll let people like Leo or Nico into those parties, but you went in there. So yeah, you're not a nobody. So yeah, that's why you were there.
Great point. Can't debate that. Go ahead, Josh.
Sorry, the mute button kind of acting weird today. I just want to say I think that if you haven't gone to one of these NFT events yet, you can't really judge. It's not just a random party. I've been to a lot of parties, and there's something different. Like, it's weird because when you go outside and like talk, interact with people, like in the neighborhood and stuff, they don't understand what we're doing here, right? And so having a party with people who understand what you're doing every single day is kind of special, right? And we're in a whole new forte where we're using digital tokenized assets to interact with other people, right? And there's something like, I don't know, there's something cool about that you can't just replicate. And I think that the money that people pay for these assets is not necessarily like, oh, like this person's overpaying for this, it actually shows you the value of something like this, right? And so I think that, I don't know, I think you should give it a shot before you just like say, hey, like this is, you're wasting your money when you can go out and go to a party for $25. You know, I just think that you have to hang out a little bit longer and maybe perhaps like get yourself into a lower entry community to really understand like why we do the things that we do.
Great point. Great points. Steven, what's up? Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Hold on. I'm going to take a quick, wow, deep breath. Holy shit. Oh, thank God it's Friday. Yeah. There's always so many things going on in this space, right? What I've always said, I've been here for a while. If you haven't met me, I say buy what the fuck you like. Because if you like it, you're going to want to keep it forever, regardless of whatever the value is or whatever somebody tells you that it's worth. So, with fine art, you buy something that you like, you put it on your wall because you want to look at it every day. If you want whatever it is, buy it. The price is irrelevant. What it brings to you is irrelevant. That's your own personal choice. The thing is, we're all here around a shared commonality. We believe in the blockchain. We believe in NFTs. We believe in Web3. Hector, I know you're laughing. I know you got some shit to say. We'll get to you soon. Don't worry. But it's true. We wouldn't all be here if we didn't believe in this shit. We wouldn't all be here every day in this bubble with the 5,000 of us that are still around. It's unfortunate that we're all each other's exit liquidity if you're involved in all the bullshit. Hopefully you're not. But, just stay away from that because we propagate that when we go to that kind of shit. Yeah, I'm passionate about this space, obviously. And, when you're passionate about something, it comes through and we hear it in our voices. So the thing that we have to remember is we have these open forums for debate to talk about this stuff. As long as we maintain respect, we will move forward and we will be the future of this space. When we start disrespecting each other is when everything breaks down and it will stop. The technology will still build, but builders will leave. So, let's all just smile and take a deep breath. And it's Friday. And it's the 4th of July coming up.
Yep, long weekend. Yeah, nobody's hardly working today. It's ghost town. But yeah, I agree. Like I've mentioned before, like I don't question. People are going to spend money on whatever the hell they want. I still don't understand why my fiance buys, $1,000 records and never opens them and they stay sealed because he likes to collect that. And, I don't see any value in that, but he does. And there's a community of people that find value in that. So
what I was going to say is I do the same things. I keep things wrapped up. I have books wrapped up. I have collectibles wrapped up. I have things that I keep that because I want to know that I have them and that they're mine, right? And with Azuki specifically, I didn't mention, I've always looked up to Azuki and the Azuki team and the art. It's something that I would like to have. If I have the means to buy it, I will buy it. And regardless of whatever happens to it, I will still know that it's mine.
All right. Before we go to Hector, and I'll circle back to Joey before too, but I did want to, let's not be a fucking hunky-dory space in here. Obviously, there's been questionable things about Vagabond's past, and nobody can deny that. So if you don't know about it, look it up. But so for Joy to have those concerns and be vocal about that, I totally agree. I totally agree with that. There is shady shit in the past, but so everybody should always be cautious of everybody that's selling you something. Joey, did you have any last comments before we go to Hector?
Yeah, I'll be super quick. The questions that I'm asking are questions that everybody should be asking about every project and every founder in this space. It just so happens that Azuki is the topic of the week, right? So the fact that people are coming at me because I'm asking questions that I think if we want the space to move forward and continue to iterate and continue to improve that we should be asking doesn't make sense. Like people like to say like your resume, your LinkedIn, your previous experience doesn't matter, right? But it does in the real world, right? Like I understand that Web3 is different and we're trying new things and we're trying to innovate and we're trying to give people a platform that they might not have ever had before. But like using Ryan Carson as an example, right? When there's millions of other people that haven't rugged, right? And then vice versa. I'm not saying that because they're undoxed, they're going to fail and they're going to rug. I'm asking the difficult question of, if you don't know what somebody's ever done before, how can you blindly put faith in them to then deliver? And yes, everybody starts somewhere, right? Amazon started in a garage or whatever it was. And I'm not saying we don't need entrepreneurs. My biggest thing is, and somebody tweeted this out earlier, where it's like, starting a business isn't, just because you can start a business doesn't mean you can scale a business, doesn't mean you can then like run a multi-million-dollar company, right? Like, sometimes there comes a point where your abilities and what you're capable of has reached its endpoint and you need to bring on other people, right? So, and because I don't know about a lot of we could say the same thing about Ether, which is minting today. No one has any idea what those two founders have ever done, right? So me asking for people to clarify, why do you have faith in the Azuki team when you don't know anything about them, I don't think is an unrealistic question. And to say that, like, because somebody who does have a LinkedIn or does have a resume can rug, of course. I mean, we see people scam all the time, but at least you have some understanding of what their capability is. So I just look at it like, I want projects to continue to innovate and push this space forward. I'm bullish on NFTs. I'm bullish on blockchain technology. I'm bullish on crypto, but at some point we still have to ask difficult questions so we can continue to push the space forward, so we don't keep falling into the same traps that have happened for the last 2+ years.
I don't think anybody could deny that. Great points. Go ahead, Hector. Welcome. Happy Friday. Hector found my wallet from my JPEG and messaged me that I bought Pepe. Yes, I have Pepe in my wallet. What else did you find in there? Go ahead.
Well, I wasn't going to air out your dirty laundry, but sure. I think it's funny that people are just here saying that we're here buying the art. Like, come on, that's what bothers me about people in this space, is that be honest. Like, you're here to sell in the future. Like, if you're the art you get isn't even your art. Like, if you just read the terms, like, it literally says in the terms, provided that you are eligible, you are granted a limited license to access and use only for personal and non-commercial use. So there is like, they reserve all the rights of everything. So you own the ability to just hold it, but what you're holding is subject to their change. Like, right now they're telling you, we're going to change the backgrounds, and there's nothing you can do about it because you own nothing, and you just own the pleasure of being part of this thing, which is this thing that we can change at any moment. So, like, if you want the art, it's very funny to say, you can go right click and save right now. What you actually want is the ability to then sell that I guess that very, very, very limited license of saying you own it to someone else. That's the purpose of why you're choosing to go to OpenSea and buy one. You're not choosing it for the art. If you really like the art, you can go right now, pick any one you want that you don't own, go to a printer, print it and put it on your wall, and boom, you're done. You're happy. You can actually appreciate the art way more than it would when you go to Twitter Spaces and see it on your profile with everyone else. It's like, just be honest. I want to buy it because I think it has potential to sell it to someone in the future. That's it. Like, don't try to lie to people and say, hey, it's because, the community and all this BS, that the reason we buy is because I want to, give money to people. Like, if you want to give money to people, here, I'll create an ETH account. You can give money to me, and I'll make you no guarantees. I'll give you nothing, but I'll be straight up honest with you. I'm going to spend that money probably better than these guys on parties and stuff.
I thought we were over the send ETH meta already, so I think you lost your chance on that one.
No, I get it. It's a joke, but I'm saying, like, just be honest with everyone else too. Like, the reason you're buying it, or not you, Jess, but like in general, the reason people are buying this stuff is because they want to be able to flip in the future. Like, you just don't make $40 million on the idea that I love the art. It's like, it's very, very, very different. Like, there's potential here. The potential here is that people can flip money, make money, and in the future they have inside knowledge of what's happening. That's it. Just be honest though.
Hector, I bought my crypto chick because I searched, sorry for my noise. I searched for one that I felt resembled me and looked like me. I didn't have any intentions on ever selling this, which I really don't. It's been rugged twice. So I plan on keeping this, not for that fact, but just because it's me. I feel like it looks like me, that's why I have it. So there are people out there that do buy them for various reasons. Not necessarily everybody is buying it, which you did clarify that. I don't think you think everybody is buying them for that
But tell me,
reason.
what's stopping you from just copying and putting it on your profile, like a lot of people do? Like, why did you choose to go pay for
Yeah,
it?
you could copy her picture and put it as your profile
Yeah,
picture.
exactly. I'm saying why didn't you just choose to do that instead of spending maybe I'm not sure how much you spent, but I'm saying arguably probably thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars to do this when you go look at what you actually own, if you go look at the terms, because everything here is not Web3 contract BS, it's actual like attorneys spent time and drafted up contract and drafted up terms as to what you actually own. And you can go to azuki.com/terms and see this, and oh, I actually don't own anything. So like I, I'm curious. It's like, yeah, it's cool. You want to, make something that resembles you have a persona. I get it, but you can get that persona because the terms are so bad, and just write, copy, and paste, and that's it. Like, there's the ability is why I think the real reason you want it is because there's opportunity within Blur and OpenSea to go then resell those things. That's what you want. You want that e-asset.
Her project rug twice. Did you not hear her? There's no,
No, I'm
like,
speaking in
it's
general terms. I'm
done.
speaking generally speaking. Like, yes, in her case, she can go and right click, whenever she wanted to, but for some reason she chose to buy it. And I'm curious, like, why did she choose to buy it and not think of, oh, let me just right click and save and then post it on my thing wherever I want to use it?
Because that's a shitty thing to do. That's a scammy thing to do, and I wouldn't
But
do it.
they rugged you. Like, how is that not a shitty thing to do?
All right.
Well, because you
Yeah,
Wait,
I think you're
wait.
missing something very
Jess, is
basic,
there a
right?
difference?
Which
Is there a
is,
difference in rugging and failing? There has to be, right?
but real quick, on what you're saying, Hector, right? Like what Jess and Tammy are saying, there's a lot of different people that invest in those projects, right? Now, to your point, if the only people that invest are just looking for a flip, that collection is probably not gonna last, not gonna be around for that long. But there are people that, regardless of what you say legally, like the feeling that they own something that it's theirs, right? I know what you're saying, that legally it's not really theirs, but it still feel like it's theirs, right? And a lot of the market is based on that. It's people that want to feel a certain attachment to a community and to art, and it's not necessarily for the aesthetic version of the art. It's simply that it's a cool collection. There's a cool people that they're part of that community, and they feel like this is special. That there's something special going on there. They might be right, they might be wrong, but you just heard DeFi Dan tell you it doesn't matter if the price goes up and down. He just want to be part of that. He's seen the
Part
movement.
of
He's seen
what?
people
What do
joining
you mean
it,
part
and he
of?
wants to feel like he owns
You
one
get nothing. You get
part of it.
if this thing didn't have any value to it, you would not be there. You would not be there because the art is cool. There's plenty of cool art
Of
everywhere.
course, but one doesn't prevent the other. You make it sound like it has to be clear in your head that you're only doing that just for the pure sake of art.
No,
Honestly, you look at the art world. Do you really think in the art world it works any different? Do you people that they collect Van Gogh and all the impressionists only for the pureness of the art? No, in the back of their mind, they love the art. They love the fact that it's theirs. They
but
can
that's the
say it's
difference. They
mine.
actually
But in the
just that
back
it's
of the mind,
theirs. It's literally theirs. They can't do that here. You have no there.
yeah, but you're debating a
No,
technicality,
it's a
right? Most
legality. It's
people
a
when they
legal. It's
buy
a
it,
literal thing that you own. Like it's like saying like
All right, Hector. All right. Calm down. We're gonna go to Emily for the last Azuki comment because we've been on this shit for an hour. I'm sure there's 20 other spaces talking about Azuki, and then we're gonna move on because you guys are not gonna come to an agreement here. Emily, welcome.
Hi, Jess. Thank you for having me on stage. It's my first time in your space, so I do appreciate it. I came up, yes, for an Azuki comment, maybe on the back of what Joey said. And I wanted to maybe touch a little bit on what Hector said. So, first, let me start with like the most recent point, Hector. Like, for myself, I've bought like the NFTs that I have because I wanted in on the communities. And I think that wanting to flip or wanting different things, like they don't have to be mutually exclusive. Like it's possible for people to have motives or intent with their art, what they buy, to want to hold and invest. That's also a thing, I think, right? And the Azuki, I just wanted to ask about accountability. I'm writing something about accountability in Web3. I'm studying it. And I thought the statement that was put up by the team was timely and it addressed all the points. And I wanted to see if Azuki holders because you guys have like probably private discourse and so on, if you guys were happy with it or if you would have had expected more.
I'm not a Discord user. I'm in no project's Discord, so I'm going to defer that to somebody else. Daniel, are you in Discord?
No, I'm not either. I have no intention to join another club.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. I only use Discord for Midjourney. That's it.
Okay, so I guess that's that then. So I guess it's onward and forward. Are you like, okay, it happened and then let's move on? Like, I'm just curious, basically.
Daniel, you want to go?
Yeah, no, I think what you're doing is interesting. Do you have a website you can share or anything? Because people tend to forget really quickly in normal life, 7 days, in crypto life, 24 hours, 48 hours, people forget about everything. So accountability is huge. Yeah, I mean, it would be great to have some sense of accountability, past a score or grading type of mechanism for projects. Because yeah, Joey was saying that how can they raise $40 million with promises, right? So yeah, let's tally those things and see where it goes. But Hector is laughing, so. With all the cringe energy that I'm getting here, all these attacks, I think I got my money's worth already. Like this is the pure shit, Like just having a PFP that commands such energy, that's probably what I'm here then.
No, don't worry. There'll be a new one next week.
Yeah, it's called Ether.
Yeah, it's actually today, not next week. It's in a few hours. That looks very similar. NK and Steven, I'm going to ask you guys to keep it quick if you wanted to comment on Azuki, but I do want to move on.
Yeah. No, just real quick. I don't know. I don't understand the fascination with like commenting on what other people spend their money on. I don't know, man. I think after this whole ETH Ben thing, I'm just realizing like some people they need to get wrecked. Like some people they need to have that experience. But at the end of the day, like if you didn't work for it, I don't know. And I appreciated your response, Tammy. I thought your breakdown made perfect sense. But then like the question from Hector about why wouldn't you just copy paste it instead of just investing that? Well, because she didn't want to. I don't know how to say it. Like, because I fucking wanted the thing. I don't know. Somebody could copy paste it. You know how many scam accounts I have made of me? Somebody could copy paste my stuff and go around and run around and do that. And that's cool. I don't give a shit. I don't know. Maybe I hope we grow out of the space where our main argument is, well, how can they raise this money? But you kind of low key salty that you didn't raise that money. I feel like that's also part of it. Is like some people have that ability to like to build up something and then they put that out there and then they raise all this money. And I don't know. I think that does something to some people, but everything I've heard is kind of based on making money. Not all of us buy. I don't flip NFTs. Like I come from the Bitcoin side, so I don't list them. I don't do none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like if I see something I like, I'll get it. If I don't care for it, I won't. So I think it's also important not to make blanket statements and assume every single person is in it for profit. I could give a shit. I don't even remember how much I spent on this. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, I just want to add that.
Just to quickly,
Yeah,
there's already 5,800 sales.
people be pocket watching like Hector within 5 minutes was looking at my wallet, seeing what I had in there. I'm broke. You wanted to scream that? There ain't shit in there but dead NFTs and dead meme coins from last season. Steven, go ahead.
Yeah. So I just want to remind everybody, the whole point of NFTs they are a mutable digital ledger that proves provenance of ownership. If you're a collector, I do agree with you, Hector. Most people in this space, their intention is to make money because that's what the space kind of shows people. It's like, ooh, there's value there. We can make flips. But that's not what it's about. If you're a true collector, this solves the issue of provenance. And let me tell you, if you own a Warhol or if you own a Liechtenstein or if you own a blue chip piece of art, you don't have the fucking rights to use that either. You're going to have to go through the foundation if you want to use that commercially. The same thing applies here, right? You're going to own the art for what it is and you're going to get to appreciate it. And you're going to own that you know that you own the authentic thing. You can copy a Monet and put it on your wall, or you can buy the real thing. Are you going to get to put that in a book based on what you want to do? Absolutely not.
Great take. Great take. All right. I am exhausted from this Azuki chat. I don't know about anybody else, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm sure in 72 hours we're on to the next thing. So yeah, what else is going on? News that broke this morning, the SEC rejected the ETFs. I know, Hector, you are a SEC defendant. Why do you think the ETF was rejected?
It mainly has to do with the idea that, so Bitcoin's price, right? Like if you look at CoinMarketCap, for example, Bitcoin's price is dictated by an index of different exchanges. So its price is not reflective on any one index or any one exchange, but like a blend of exchanges, and they have their way of figuring that out. So what the SEC doesn't like is the reliance of that price on certain exchanges and the certain pairing. So like, for example, a lot of what we've seen recently is like that this run up to 30K was primarily done because of TUSD. So TUSD is the true USD stablecoin that came out of nowhere again and minted $1 billion probably like 2 weeks ago. And then subsequently we see Bitcoin go to 30 million or 30,000. And so that was all, you can see it, the volume of its 3.5 supply would basically turn over. So like you see 100% of the entire TUSD supply turn over in 24 hours and the price would run up. And then so that, along with the tether being a lot of it also before that, I think like roughly 60, 70% of the entire volume of Bitcoin price comes in tether. So not having the ability to surveil those markets and knowing that this is actually true or this is not being wash traded is the biggest concern with the SEC.
Anybody have any other comments or questions on that? Oh, sorry, not questions. I'm not an SEC lawyer.
Did you say you need a lawyer? Because I can play a lawyer if you need one.
Yeah, where's Johnny when you need him? No, something that I did see that was interesting that, oh God, these dogs. Vitalik response. Somebody asked Vitalik about what he thought about everything that was going on, and he said he felt sorry for Solana and other blockchains. Not sure if you guys saw that this morning, but hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on.
Yeah, Vitalik is pretty fair. He's not necessarily like a only ETH type of vibe, right? Like he understands that there should be a path for decentralization for something to be deemed as security. But if decentralized enough, you can't point to one actor or one corporation, and the value comes from actual network. At the edges, people don't necessarily have to ask for permission. Then it shouldn't be deemed a security because you can no longer say, hey, the value comes from this group of actors. It's diversified enough that you can't really point to those actors. And I think it should be fair that a Solana or Algorand or whoever should have the same path towards becoming a commodity if they become decentralized enough.
Yeah, that dog's getting his ass beat right now for sure.
Both of our dogs are being crazy today.
Whoa, I got to call the ASPCA?
No, it's decentralized. Don't worry.
Oh, the ASPCA is decentralized and embracing
the raising
oh.
of these dogs is decentralized. Don't worry about it.
But
My dog is waiting too.
If you believe that, if you truly believe that, then you would also want for Bitcoin to be deemed security, right? If there's no way by which a network can be deemed decentralized enough, then nothing should ever become a commodity.
Well, the thing is, it can, because like if no one makes change to it, if someone, like I've said over and over, there is no.
You had a tweet that showed the many changes throughout the years of
exactly.
BTC.
I'm not arguing against that.
So you're making the argument that BTC should be deemed as security.
That's the only argument that could be made. Yes, because its initial creation was different, but then it's had players and small groups of people who've had influence over it. That's what kind of tarnishes its ability to remain as a commodity. So yeah, I agree with you.
But would you say there's always the same group of people that add value to the network? That when people think of Bitcoin, they always point to the same 5 developers?
well, for a long time, yeah, you can make that claim. Like, there's only certain people who make the commits and push to like the main branch and stuff. So yeah.
But I could just as well point to different actors, right? Whoever is working on the Bitcoin adoption, El Salvador, whoever is listing ETFs, right? Like there's different actors on the network. They're adding value. I don't think most people would say I'm hoping on those 5 developers to keep adding value for Bitcoin. Even the developer Ordinal is not part of the same 5 developers that's been around for the past 10 years.
Right, but
All right,
what's your argument?
oh, sorry, I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry, I don't know what you guys are arguing about, but I did want to make a comment. I don't know if you guys see Sassel's tweet that I put up there. Why are all the dinosaur coins pumping? You got BCH, ETC, which is Ethereum Classic, before the fork for those that are new. And BSV is also on the list. So why are all the dinosaur coins pumping?
Because it goes back to the same arguments. BCH and primarily has been singled out by Fidelity. When with their EDX saying that they're one of the few coins that they're going to support in the beginning. No mention of Ethereum, but also could be it's just that same idea that proof of work coins are a very different model than proof of stake coins because there's no initial funding, and also with Ethereum Classic, they're probably trying to make an argument that that's the original Ethereum, which arguably is true, and I think someone out there thinks that they'll take up on it versus Ethereum, which has been the small group roadmap idea with a small group of players deciding what happens in the future.
Or is it the lower price point and they just think that, hey, I'm going to get into this one because this one's lower?
But it's all based on the same merit, right? There's a lot of low price coins that are underneath those coins as well. If that argument were true, then those would be pumping as well. But these are proof of work, significant off of Bitcoin or significant off of Ethereum.
Well, it's pretty easy, right? Like low liquidity coins can pump pretty hard. You just put 10,000 on something and, going to go up. So that's the same thing. Plus, what's 2 times 0, right? Still 0. So poor guys when BSV and BCH and ETC, I kind of feel for them, It's kind of like what we're thinking about. We're talking about Azuki's, right? The hoping. But so that's there, just look at the pools of liquidity and they really have nothing in there. So that's why they pump.
Well, the pool liquidity in 24-hour periods with BCH has been over $1 billion every day. So I don't know if that argument can be made.
Yeah, that's quite a bit then. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. In other news, I'll run through some things really quick. Did you guys see that Melania's coming out with her second NFT collection, and she's dropping it on Solana? So,
Jess, are you bullish or bearish?
I don't think her last collection did well. I wouldn't buy it, but who knows? Maybe I'll degen or something. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I won't.
But isn't I short it?
What?
I said, but isn't I short? Isn't I short the collection?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's supposed to be an Independence Day collection launching for $50 on Solana. So she knows we're poor, so she's launching on Solana, which is for the poor. So that's coming out. And in other things, just talking a little bit, we were talking about content creation and marketing. In some marketing and Web3 news, Phantom did a rebranding, and there's some back and forth going about that. And there's also been some drama in the space about the ENS marketing video. Not sure if you guys saw that. But yeah, that's also going around. So lots of drama in that area. The ENS community is upset that they paid certain influencer, or quote unquote paid certain influencers versus highlighting the members in the community. So let's see what else. KuCoin is implementing a mandatory KYC starting July 15th. So where do we go from here?
To paper wallets, Jess.
Everything goes through Fed now.
So if you're on KuCoin, make sure to get your funds off of there. They're going to require mandatory KYC after January 15th.
Yo, you know about that wallet on KuCoin that was like that is launched? I think if I'm not mistaken, I think it launches like 500 scam coins a day, and it's been like rampant on KuCoin for like 2 years. And like people have complained, like you can track it. Like we've literally been tracking it for like, this is like approaching like over a year now. And they're aware of it, and they're like, well, we're going to try to get down to the bottom of it. They made that announcement about a month ago, so I wonder if they ended up finding like a bunch of other scam wallets that are doing the exact same thing, and now it's suddenly like, oh, everyone's got a KYC. I don't know. It might be a reach, but I just want to know if anybody else had actually heard about that.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I got to find somewhere else. I know, Dow, you've been talking about GMX for a while. Are you still using that?
Yep, and they're actually coming up with a V2 version. It's a perpetual DEX. Basically, you can get leverage up to 50% on ETH, on BTC, and other main coins. And they're looking to add more coins onto the listing. So I don't recommend it for, if you're just getting started in crypto. But if you're very confident about your position or the future or one direction of the market, it's a great platform. And the great point there is that DEXs are actually getting to a place where they're comparable in terms of user experience as the regular exchanges like KuCoin, Binance, or what have you. The one thing that obviously is missing is that off and on ramps, right? The moment we have that, honestly, I don't think we will be relying on a centralized exchange for anything. The volume is still there, right? Obviously, centralized exchange is where it's at. But we're starting to see some really great user experiences. And there's some countries like I think Brazil, the UAE, United Emirates Arabs, that are looking forward to provide easier on ramps. I don't know if it's ever going to happen in the United States, but if you live elsewhere, it's probably going to happen.
Yeah, I got to check it out and see how that works out. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And I just do want to call something out because I saw it looks like Machi got fished. And I just don't understand at this point, like how people are still getting fished links. There's literally free apps out there, Wallet Guard, Fire, that it shows you in little cute pictures and tells you this is going to get stolen. Or if you're on
Jess, he didn't get fished.
oh, he didn't get
He
fished.
No,
delegated.
yes, no.
He delegated his heavy metal. Like he delegated access to somebody to play the heavy metal game, and the person he delegated to got fished, which then drained his wallet.
Karma, Joey. It's karma.
And I'll throw it over to Brooke because I know she probably has something to say on this. It just amazes me still.
Well, yeah, Joey's right. Like he delegated, but really like didn't use the correct tools to actually delegate because he could have had control over that as well. Like this is like the game of the shell game. Like whose fault is it? And really, it's always the fault of the original like bearer of responsibility. So there's still tools. Like he just put off the blame onto somebody else, but like his decision was to delegate it in the first place. And frankly, I'm tired of not seeing these things, but there are like issues with being airdropped and the taxable events and the tax implications that like these people are doing this. I don't know this for sure, like with specifics, but I do know this in general that like when the tax implications come up with like, all of these different financial, instruments that you then have to go pay taxes. You no longer have to do that if it's stolen or if it's, no longer in your possession or you've given it away or whatever. So, there's always the idea and the thought process for me personally. And this, does not like it represent the cybersecurity, Web3 security community as a whole. But I personally believe, and I've seen it happen numerous times in the past where, this is a air quote, I'm using air quotes with my fingers, hack that happens so that these people don't have to deal with like the financial taxable repercussions, not even repercussions, but responsibilities of, all of a sudden coming into free money. Because this is not just some like magic internet money. there was someone who I won't name names that, quote unquote, lost millions of dollars last year. And like, when you think about it, all of a sudden you've come into millions of dollars. Do you think you don't have to pay taxes on this money, even unrealized? I'm not a tax accountant. I'm not an attorney. I just have thoughts, but like, I also am a tax paying citizen and have money, and I understand how these things work. So, and also know that they're not really hacks. Like, these are knowable situations. We always say that, like, there's Wallet Guard and there's, delegate.cash, and there's all these different tools. But I believe that there are intentional situations where they're intentionally not using those things so that they can use it as a sort of like the person who sets fire to their own house so that they can get insurance money. I know that's apples to oranges, sort of, but like, there's those situations because it's easier to do in a pseudo anonymous situation. I mean, obviously he's not fully anonymous, but there's been issues in the past that I have known of specifically, and I would have to go under an anonymous, I would never say it publicly, but there's situations in the past where people have hired hackers. Remember, hackers are actually people that do it. They're not, like, they can be black hat, gray hat, white hat, but that's what they do. And you can go and order up whatever you want on the dark web, wherever, and have somebody, quote unquote, hack your wallet, make it look like someone stole it, and then you get it washed through different things in different countries, and it comes back to you. Nobody ever knows.
And you know what, Brooke, I don't think I think you are comparing the right things, because it comes down also to just simple common sense and thinking about, you don't lose your mind just because you're in this space when it comes to security, and you didn't get to the level that you're at and the amounts of, money in your wallet that you claim to have by being an idiot. So you even think about banking, you protect those things, you protect your assets, you protect all these other things in real life. You don't lose your mind just because you step into this space and you think, that it's okay to give out these things, or, give information that you wouldn't normally give. It doesn't make any sense. I think that that's where things just don't add up. And when you hear these people doing these stupid ass things, I think it's for a way for them, one, to exit, and with given some of the things that have happened recently, and maybe they just think people are stupid. Well, there's a lot of us out here that aren't stupid and can connect the dots going backwards and figure out what could be happening there.
Yeah, and just to respond to that, like, there are so many things that go on in like the underbelly of all of this stuff that so many people are aware of. But if they come out and say it, it again, like, it's FUD, and it's, you're just trying to bring down the house and all this stuff. And I just sit back, like, it's really sad that people really truly believe that these things are happening, because these people are not stupid. Machi's not an idiot. Like, he didn't get where he got by being an idiot. Being an idiot's different, or smart, or whatever, is not the same as like being ethical. And being like, you can be real smart and make a ton of money and nobody knows that you did it unethically because you're smart enough to cover that up. So it just, like, I want to encourage people to stop saying things like, they could have done Wallet Guard, or they could have done all of these things. Definitely they could have. They chose not to. Like, they consciously chose not to. I don't know. I'm not speaking about Machi individually, but I can say without a doubt, this happens more than you all think.
Great take. Andrew, what's up? Go ahead.
Thanks, Jess. For the sake of the conversation and progressing, moving this forward, I would encourage everyone to obviously look into YubiKey, because obviously SIM swaps are becoming super, popular right now. And the people will say, I'll never get SIM swapped. Well, that may or may not be true, but the CTO of OpenAI, who's definitely got more technical experience than most of us here combined have, got SIM swapped. So you are definitely up for grabs, and not taking place, unfortunately. Get a YubiKey, look into it. Do not buy any YubiKey that's not from the direct website. Avoid third parties. Definitely check it out. A ton of people getting SIM swapped. Just make sure you're not one of those people. For those that want to look up how to get SIM swapped, it's pretty easy to look it up, kind of reverse engineer and how that process happens. Just be careful out there.
And text 2FA, if if anybody has any questions about this, I know we like repeat it over and over, but having two-factor authentication with texting is highly, highly probable or problematic. Sorry, like doing 8 things at once. Extremely problematic. And you can kind of like, if you think about it a little bit, because I'm not going to sit here and explain all this and have a little class with you, but you want to make sure that you have a YubiKey or you have a authenticator, maybe a different, device, but having it on your text message, although it is easier to just go in, because I know with iPhones, you can just, when it asks you for the code, you can just tap on the where you're supposed to enter it in, and your number pad will pop up with whatever text message number you just got. And I realize that's easier, but it is extremely like less secure than doing it any other way. So Twitter, I believe, is taking that off, but you can go into your Twitter settings, and because we want you to have two-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication, but having it with the text messages is way less secure. So you can actually take that off in your security settings.
Totally agree. 2FA for Twitter. Brad, good morning. What's going on? Happy Friday.
GM fam, happy Friday. I've been listening this morning. Sorry for the late jump in here. I've been listening between calls, but it's great discussions today, and just wanted to point out that the stupid criminals are in jail and the smart ones are in Web3. So just really be careful. Don't click links. All the stuff that everybody keeps saying. I feel like telling somebody to not click links at this point is like saying, like, make sure you put on your seatbelt. I mean, at this point, it's just so I can't believe people are still out there, getting drained for those types of things. Granted, there are ways that hackers and bad actors are draining people through much, much more sophisticated ways, but a majority of it happens through social engineering, clicking bad links, connecting your wallet to just random ass shit in Discord. Just be safe. Think, and always reach out. I mean, like, my DMs are open. Like, if there's something that's sketchy or you have questions about something like that, your wallet's going to be at risk, like, reach out. Like, ask the people that have been here for a while, who have seen dozens and dozens of people get drained and have been, almost drained, have been drained, things like that. Just, yeah, reach out. Questions are important, especially in emerging tech.
Great points. Great points. Steven, what's up? Go ahead.
I heard that with Twitter now, you have to create a login to read tweets. And that's something that was breaking this morning. If anybody can verify, let me know.
Yeah, I did see that. Sounds like you have to now log in to even see anything on Twitter. So similar to like what IG has set up and some of the other platforms. I actually, now that you speak on Twitter, what do you guys think about the Elon and Mark match? Who do you got? You're going for Elon or what's the other guy's name?
Yeah, I like Elon, full transparency, but I gotta go Mark. I mean, Mark seems like he knows jiu-jitsu. I gotta go for Mark. That's definitely a deadly skill to know.
So you don't think size matters?
It does, but technique matters more.
Yeah, like Mark's been doing jiu-jitsu for a while, for years.
So true, guys.
He's got like
so
a black belt as well. So, and the experience that he get, you can't train for a couple of months and get to that level, right? Like the amount of physical endurance that it requires to be like battling like that on the mat. Anybody who's done it for 20 minutes, you're exhausted if it's your first time. So, I mean, yeah, even if Elon is bigger, and yeah, I would love for Elon to win. Yeah, Mark is badass. He looks like he could take a lot of people.
He won a black belt competition, I think, a couple months back. Actually, as well.
I was just about to bring that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know that he won that competition, Forte. But here's the thing, like, but who's really gonna go hard on a billionaire? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't.
That like, looked rigged. I agree.
This is billionaire on billionaire action.
No, I know, but no. That's actually the point. Like, imagine you've been training in jiu-jitsu and you've been winning all these matches and stuff like that, and then you get into a real fight with somebody that doesn't give a crap who you are, and at that moment you'll realize you have been played. I don't know. I'll be. But did you guys hear that they offered them the Coliseum to come and fight in, like literally, like gladiators? This is getting out of control.
That's going to be like a pay-per-view event. Let me go to these hands. I see two new people, Erica and Akil. It looks like Akil's here. What's up, Erica?
Hello, GM friends.
Happy
Oh my
Friday.
God, freaking finally, geez Louise, I didn't even think we would make it to this day, but it's been such a long week. But
Who you got, Erica? Elon or
oh my gosh.
Musk?
Okay, so I want Elon to kick the shit out of Zuck, but I think when it comes down to it, Zuck would win. And so, I'm kind of torn, but I would go with Elon, but my money secretly would be betting on Zuck. I hate to say it. I hate Zuck, but what the fuck, Zuck? I don't know. Okay, so they got offered the Coliseum. The Coliseum doesn't even have a fucking floor. Like the floor is
That's what I'm wondering. Like
They have enough money to build a
if you've
floor.
been to the Coliseum, it's like the floor is literally eroded away, and you can see like the tunnels and the
isn't graves
cells.
underneath there or
I
something?
don't know if it's
You see the skulls still?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the graves, but like the tunnel system for where all of the gladiators and the fighters, like that's all you can see. So I don't know about that, but okay. All right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
Maybe
gonna
it was a
be
troll.
yeah, that's gonna be funny to see that play out. And maybe they'll make it like a thing going forward. Billionaires battle it out. What's up, Akil?
Listen, Mark Zuckerberg made the greatest comment ever. He said, "My biggest regret in life is pursuing fencing instead of wrestling." Mark Zuckerberg is going to beat the fuck out of that piece of shit known as Elon Musk. And I don't care if he owns Twitter or not. That motherfucker, he going to die one day. Anyway, that's all I got to say.
Damn.
Yeah, I did see. I did. Oh, go ahead, Tammy.
I was just going to say, I knew Black would say that. I just knew it.
I was trying to find the tweet, but there was something on that Unusual Whales page yesterday about Elon doing certain drugs that he does, like, where is it? Hallucinogen? What does he do? I'll find it.
Oh
Put that
yeah,
up there.
yeah, I saw that. It was
Psychedelics, yeah.
Hey, really quick. Okay, so Black, I think that we all know your feelings about Elon and how much you despise him. So I'm just curious, how much would you pay to have front row seats between Elon and Zuck? Like, what's your cap?
I think I would pay 10 grand just to referee the fight.
There you have it.
Can you imagine how out of breath Elon would be, like after one punch? Like I can just imagine him just being like, just breathing so heavy. I would love to see it, honestly. I know, but I do feel like Zuck would probably body rock him. I think he would get a few shots in there because he's actually taking it seriously. I think Elon made that joke and Zuck replied straight face, like just name the place. I think they've disliked each other for a long time. It sounds like there's been like a deep rivalry there for some time.
Loser should get the other person's platform. That's my what I suggest.
No. I don't want Facebook on here. The fuck?
Unfortunately, first off, this thing's gone to shit. I mean,
we would lose Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. Well, Twitter's already dead anyway. Everyone knows. Listen, Elon has been messing with the algorithms. He's been pushing conspiracy theories. He's been pushing crazy shit, and it's written there in the code. It's literally there. Like there's all these like back end shit that Elon's written in the code. So it doesn't matter. Twitter is not real life. It doesn't really exist. It's just like a place for us degens to get together, figure out what the next play is, and have some fun. Other than that, man, I don't listen to anything on Twitter. I'm hanging out in IRL now. IRL's pretty dope.
I want to go back to lockdown. I still want people to stay 6 feet away from me. Like I really enjoyed it. I flourished during lockdown, so Twitter's fine for me.
Let's get through some of these hands. Josh, I saw you had your hand up, and then Joey and Brett and Bella.
Yeah, I actually just wanted to ask, can we get like a vote from the audience and from the stage with like thumbs up on like who they think's gonna win? I'm actually curious.
Wait, I think we need to recognize we don't know the potential of Neuralink, so you never know.
Yeah, he shows up there and all of a sudden he starts levitating. We're like, oh shit.
Oh shit. Dude, Elon Musk knows every single fighting technique out there, and oh, that would be wild.
does he get credit for being an African man? I like, as an African, I feel like I don't want to give him that credit, but is there any credit to him?
No, don't even.
Well, because he's
No,
entitled, you know, like he's the wrong kind.
no. He doesn't get it. He's a colonizer.
He is. He really is.
Joey, what's up? Go ahead. Joey. All right, Brett.
All right, Musk and Zuck. I think there's two outcomes, right? I think either Zuck like goes like blind nerd rage from all the repressed bullying and everything his whole life, right? And just like goes blind rage fury on Musk, and Musk has no idea what's even happening. Or I kind of see it like Musk is Zuckerberg's older brother, and he's just gonna get in the ring and immediately put him in a headlock and start giving him like noogies and shit, and like maybe like a big ass wedgie, you know, like because it's just kind of like, you know, I am your dad, you know, type shit. Like I cannot wait. I so much hope that this actually happens. You know, I realistically it'll probably be staged, right? I mean, like let's get real here. You know, paid fighting is about, you know, who can draw the most crowd and, you know, ultimately who wins. But I think, I mean, shit, let's do this like, let's have it at like the next like NFT NYC, you know, in Times Square. Like, let's get this to happen in the community. I think that would be what's up. Fuck the Coliseum. Like, again, has no floor. What are they going to do? Like, let's do this Times Square. That's my vote.
Yo, Dana White is already involved, so that might actually be viable.
It would be so dope.
Hey, Bella, what's going on? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Long time no see. Hope all is well. Congratulations on another successful show. As always, I've been down there listening, doing all my errands, but I got to go with Elon on this. But I do have a prediction that Elon is going to be launching some sort of live streaming, and they'll probably start with the event, and it'll be like paid live streaming for the fight on Twitter, and then Zuck will try and do it too on Facebook, and it'll be interesting to see who gets more paid subscriptions so that they can see the live stream of the fight. That is my prediction, ladies and gentlemen. We will see if it will come true. Oh, yes, and then Twitter will crash in the middle of it, just like it did whenever DeSantis launched his campaign, because they won't have all the bugs worked out. All right, this is Bella. I'm done.
Listen, enough people hate Elon that people will tune in. Like, I know we all love Elon, most of us here. I'm not going to say everyone, but people hate him so much that they will pay to see him get his ass kicked. Go ahead, Dale.
Yeah, I have to head out, but yeah, love the conversation we had. Love that you guys invited Zealous. Great AI platform. My 2 cents there. This becomes a trend, right? We actually see those celebrity fights. I want to see Vitalik against Adam Back, the CEO of Blockstream. I want them to duke it out. I want Vitalik to absolutely smash and terrorize that BTC Maxi. So that's my 2 cents on that. Hey, guys, have a great rest of your day and weekend. And talk to you guys later.
Vitalik would get his ass whooped.
I got money on Vitalik, man. He's got this Russian weird eyes. He can do some stuff.
Dude,
he weighs
like the water boy
pounds.
I got money on CZ, and I know Jess does too, and it's not even close.
Yeah, I do too. I want to see Vitalik against Satoshi. That's what I want to see.
Just Craig Wright, according to Hector. I don't know what Craig Wright looks like.
No.
That is not fair. Y'all know that Vitalik is a lover, not a fighter. Come on. He's going to show up in his furry costume.
I feel like it would be a slap fight. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're gonna have all these hopes and dreams. Like, he knows jujitsu, he knows karate, and it's just gonna be people slapping each other. I feel it.
Yep. Wild times. That's going to be a sight to see. What else is going on? I'm starting to get hungry, and my dogs are barking, so we're going to start wrapping it up. But yeah, obviously, I'm not going to talk about the Ben situation. I think we can all agree that that's ridiculous, and he's gotten enough airtime. But yeah, shout out to everybody that was hating on me for talking shit about their orange squares.
Those did get removed, by the way, for hate speech, I believe.
I tweeted the other day that, like, my son used to bang his head on the floor when he was a toddler to get my attention. And I ignored it, and he stopped. And, like, a lot of people did get the context of that, but, like, I don't understand the like retweeting of screenshots of like things that he says, because you're just perpetuating it. Like, I don't see how that's any different than him actually doing it. It was mind blowing to me that like you're looking for engagement by retweeting or re-engaging with whatever it is that he's doing, and then everybody's getting in the comments talking about what he's doing instead of just ignoring it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe it's like I'm just too old for this shit or something, but like just ignore it. But yeah, the orange square thing, I knew that was gonna crash and burn as soon as it happened.
And it was like the DYOR on that would have been so simple. It's literally just going to the terms and saying, is this something that can happen? It costs $50 per affiliate per month. It's shocking to me that people really believe this man was going to pay $500,000 a month for you to have an orange square that you could have just gotten a blue check off on for like $14 a month. How I don't understand like the you know, I believe in believing in things. I believe in movements. I love all of that, especially if it resonates with me. But what does he stand for? I think the newest thing is setting up an organization called We're So Black. I mean, like, you're trolling the Black community. Like, what's wrong with you? I don't know. I'm not impressed, but I'm a patient person, and I'm just waiting for the day to meet him in person, to be honest with you. And I think a lot of people are. I no longer feel sympathy for anybody that did anything with him. And I think my biggest disgust right now is watching specific people that were the main voices in pumping this guy, the main voices and making sure he got all the attention, the main voices and getting money for this guy. And now they're turning around and saying, well, I can't be around him because he says anti-Semitic things. Bro, he didn't just start saying the N-word. He didn't just start saying he's been doing that, bro. So it's just, I don't know. I think it's quite disgusting.
And if it makes anybody like, yeah, I don't know, feel any better, I do have knowledge that he has been swatted. So I don't know. I don't know these things for sure. And today I'm just like saying all the things and I don't give a shit. But like, I do know there's like legal action being taken, and like we're not surprised by that, people, are we? Like, he's like, cops are onto it. Like,
no, but think about what he's saying when he says he's been swatted. This man just all this time has been, oh, I'm in Dubai, oh, I'm in India.
Right.
But there's SWAT is an American force, bro. If you got swatted, that means you're in the US of A.
A lot of us know exactly where he is. Like,
all right, guys, I don't want to spend too much time talking about him. Right. But Hector, I saw you had your hand up.
I just wanted to showcase, because we're talking about our leaders here, right? I wanted to show.
No, he is not a leader. Oh, you want to talk about Craig Wright?
No,
shocker.
You guys are talking about. Sorry, you guys are talking about like fighting who's fighting who, and then so this is who Vitalik would be up against if he wanted to do his thing. This guy's scaling a table laterally.
Wait, did you post something? Oh God.
Yeah. So Craig Wright is like a rock climber.
I don't see it. Where'd you put it?
There's always a delay, Jess. There's
in the nest, but yeah. So he's climbing laterally across the table, and you can watch it.
Is that so? He's Spider-Man. That's why he got hands. He's I don't.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's an unfair fight, no matter who tries.
Why would you just blindly believe in somebody?
Off the table.
What is
I can't watch the video.
Like, that's like, am I supposed to
be?
What the hell
is he doing?
There are 4-year-olds that do that. I don't.
He's using
He's
a table
rolling
wrong.
on the table. What is he doing? I don't want to get rugged, so I don't want to watch it.
It's called capoeira, Jess. Capoeira.
All right, so that should impress us. Why again?
I'm saying the video is him laterally going across a table from the bottom and over again. It's like basically think of rock climbing but sideways instead of up.
I'm not impressed.
Hector, his wingspan is the entire table length.
I'd like to see any of you try that.
Respect for him now. I feel like he needs to learn to use a table correctly.
There's literally a 4-year-old right now doing the same thing.
Probably, yeah, literally.
Is that him with the sword in the video, like 2 tweets up?
Yeah. He's also does that too.
Yeah, his sword game is, I don't know. I've seen better from my little brother playing.
That clip is going to be
so
crazy.
Yeah, that is Craig Wright, who some people believe is Satoshi. Go ahead,
you know
Jen.
what? That makes me laugh just watching it, because have y'all ever like played the game that the floor is lava and you've got to like bounce around on stuff to like not touch the floor? That is what that is right now, like in adult form.
hanging off the side of the couch and you're so close to touching that lava, but you also only weigh 45 pounds at the time.
Exactly.
I'm gonna start calling Craig Wright Sword Toshi.
All right, gang. Yeah, well, let's go ahead and wrap it up because I got a bunch of stuff to do. But yeah, it was a great conversation. In case you missed it, you can go back and play it back. We talked to Zealous app. If you want to learn how they use AI and their content creation marketing platform. Thanks to all the speakers and all the listeners. Before we wrap it up, I'll throw it over to Brooke. Brooke, anything you got coming up this week? Anything that you're excited about?
Yeah, I mean, the Rolex Layer 2 launched the other day. That's why I'm so exhausted because we've had so much going on with it. So go over and check that out. You can just go to my bio and click on the click on all the links. No, the Twitter profile of Rolex and just kind of learn more about it. It's secured by Bitcoin. It's literally like one of the fastest blockchains. It's just really cool. We're all here working our butts off. So if you wouldn't mind, give it a look.
And you could also listen to our episode last week that we had Alex on Franciscoin. So make sure to check that out. Dow did have to jump off because he is in Brazil. He is our resident travel co-host. Tammy, what about you?
Well, as you know, we've been working on some stuff in real life with our business. So that's been keeping me really busy. But I want to thank everybody for coming, all of you that show up every week for us and come up and speak. We love it. And even the ones that don't, we appreciate you for coming. I did want to give a quick shout out to Akil. We lovingly know him as Black. But if you've been missing Black Excellence, if you search for him in the speakers right now, he's under Sunday Fun Day podcast. So I miss hearing his voice. If you guys miss him, please give him a follow. But I hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend and enjoy the 4th, everybody.
And Tammy, we want to do like a money space. I meant to say this earlier, but I would love to. Tammy's my financial therapist, and I would love to do a space during the week, an espresso coffee hour, or however we're calling it. Sorry. But to talk about like the power of money and women in money and like how all of this, pertains to our lives. And Tammy's the best at all of this, having been in the industry so long. So can I get a thumbs up for that? Because I really think it's an important conversation to have, just, basic financial literacy. It's just really important.
I appreciate that. Oh, I'm sorry, Jess.
No problem. Sorry, I'm trying to wrap it up. Go ahead.
No, I get it. No, I appreciate the kind words, Brooke. I do. And I do think it's extremely important, especially in the times that we're living in now. And it's just the basics that people don't know and don't learn in school and may have not learned in their life because they didn't have anybody to teach them. So I think it is super important. So yeah, we will definitely schedule something soon.
Definitely looking forward to that. And yeah, this is my last Crypto and Coffee. This will be the last Crypto and Coffee I will be hosting on this page. So make sure to follow Crypto Coffee Pod. It's the page is in my bio, so all the future spaces are going to be on there. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming, all the speakers and all the listeners. Good times. Y'all keep it chill. I'm sure there'll be some drama later this afternoon with the Ethermint. But yeah, it's been great chatting with you guys. And definitely after the holiday, look, like Tammy and Brooke said, you'll see a lot more spaces from the Crypto Coffee Pod page. Hopefully, Twitter gets back to me and we get to change that name because our initials right now are CCP and we do not want to be CCP. So we're working on that with Twitter. But thanks again. Have a great day and we'll see you guys next week.